No, guys, it is not Wednesday. Your eyes are not deceiving you. It is a Friday. This is an amazing celebration. My brother, Sergeant Big Country. We're going to be talking about some amazing things. We're going to be talking about the new movie that will be dropping soon, and we'll talk about that. The rise of Sergeant Big Country. We're also going to be talking about some amazing thing he's got going on in his life today, and a big special announcement that's only being heard here today if you stay till the end. So, and this episode is sponsored by Mr. Robert, the Warrior Strategist Garcia. If you need anybody, if you need PR, Robert is the man. He will get you on TV, magazines, maybe possible sponsorships. He gets everybody everywhere. So thank you, Robert Garcia, for sponsoring this episode. Brian, my brother, what's up, dude?
How's it going, big man? Doing great, man. Being blessed, living the life, living the dream, and really honored to be back on your show, brother. Hell yeah.
I love it, brother. So again, as I always ask, what is your definition of resiliency?
Oh man, never quitting, pushing past and beyond your limits. Doesn't matter what life throws at you, as long as you dig down deep and you believe in yourself and you put the work in, anything is possible. Absolutely anything.
I love it. So, I mean, people that watch the show, people that know me, know we hang around the same circles of people. You've been on the show before, but like I said, today's a celebration. But before we can celebrate, we have to know the reason why we are celebrating. So let's go back into your past a little bit and tell us about, who Sergeant Big Country is and what you have risen from.
So I am a I am a medically retired disabled Army veteran. Joined the Army in July of 2006. Finally fulfilling my dream job of being a soldier of this amazing country. Served, deployed to Iraq in 2008 for a whole year. Came back in 2009. Been to Germany. Had a really amazing career, and then January 7th, 2014, on Fort Riley, I was heading to get my men some lunch, and I hit black ice and ran off a 150-foot ravine. I crushed both my legs. I lost the left one above the knee, and my right one is what they call a limb salvage, which means there's 30 screws, 4 plates, and a 10-inch rod between my kneecap and my ankle. I cannot feel my right foot. Excuse me. Can't feel my right foot, so it's almost like having a BK on the right side. And was medically retired, came home, was in a very dark place for the first 5 years, a little over 5 years. Separation anxiety from the Army. That was my dream job. On top of PTSD, my injuries, having doctors in my head telling me that I'd never walk again. And, having to deal with, the reactions from other people after getting home. It was a scary thing. But, September 2020, we started getting up and taught ourselves how to walk, dabbled in the gym, a couple days a week. February 2021, we started going to the gym full time, 5 days a week, doing 2-a-days at 415 pounds. Had our first Adept Sports competition in 21 up in New York City. 2022 was my first full year competing. Won my first international gold medal and a handful of others. Fell in love with adaptive sports. Really dug into fitness. Found myself again. Found the love of my life. 3 more amazing kids to add to the family. Being able to help other people with disabilities turn their disabilities from a hindrance into their superpowers. So that way they're able to live their best life and use their disabilities to live their best life. And been rocking and rolling ever since, man. Got our Paralympic license. Missed the Paralympic trials last year by 2 centimeters. Not a big deal. Actually, really proud of how far we went, competing in the short time that we have been, man, and just helping other people with disabilities, man, find the happiness that I found.
And again, you keep me inspired. You and my brother Aaron Hale keep me inspired every day. Like, I know that if I'm working out, and in the back of my mind, I'd be like, what would Sergeant Big Country do? What would Aaron do? So even though it was 18 degrees this morning, I went out into the garage and got my workout in.
There you go.
Guys inspire me. But let's go back a little bit, because what was it like at one moment? You're Superman, and then the next day you're Clark Kent, and you went from being a Superman to being laid up in a hospital somewhere, missing limbs. So what was that mindset like laying there?
Oh, man. It was a thought of, what am I going to do now? My kids was the first thing that I was thinking about. I was so used to running on the playground with them and jumping over fences and going camping and doing all kinds of things with my kids. That was like my biggest concern of, how am I going to live my life, and what am I going to be able to do with them now? I'm being told that I can't walk, that I'm not ever going to walk again. And, my kids, are my backbone. And it was really hard. It was trying to figure out how to be able to live life again. It wasn't a very nice thing at all.
Now, because and we talked about this, one day I was Superman. The next day I'm blind. I can't even see around my house. I literally can't even find the toilet paper. I can't cook anything. So I was like, I became less than half a man in one day time. So what was it like coming home and not having the money to build an adaptive house, and to having to learn how to maybe just get something from the high, get something from up high or down low? When you're missing limbs, what was that like mentally and physically?
It was terrifying. Terrifying. Having to depend on other people to live, literally, to help clean the house, to help cook, getting to doctor's appointments, was literally, if I didn't have anybody there, then I was pretty much stuck, especially in the bed. Mentally, it was very, very draining, very emotional, crying a lot of suicidal tendencies, had those running through my head. It was literally to the point of, I was like, what's the point of me even being here? I'm just going to be a burden on everybody else. I'm fat, lazy, and I was not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel at all.
So, like Aaron, I just had Aaron on, and me also. There comes a moment where you're like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I need to get my ass moving. I don't know where I'm going, but I need to get moving, or else I'm not going to make it. What was that come to Jesus moment that you decided, all right, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm going to do something. I don't know yet what it is, but I'm going to do something. Take us back to the moment.
September 2020, man. I was sick and tired of being used by so many people. I was sitting on the couch and I was looking at my shadow box right there. And I was like, you know what? I'm better than this. I gave up too quick. This is my fault for why I'm thinking the way that I'm thinking, why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. What have I done for myself to better myself? And it was like, I haven't done anything. Like I literally had been sitting here sulking in self-pity. So I got up. got up and started bouncing between the walls of my house like a pinball machine, man, and took quite a number of falls. But I was damn determined to learn how to walk again, and it took me a few weeks, but we did. We learned how. You know, it was taking those small steps in between those little bit of spaces and feeling things and trying to get used to the movements of my legs and getting used to the pain and having that determination that I had when I was in the military to overcome what I needed to overcome.
Okay, now, because I remember the first day when I went out to go for a walk after losing my vision and getting some vision back. And my wife was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I just looked at her and I said, "I've already been run over. I've already survived my head being run over. What else can happen to me?" So did you finally have that moment where you're like, "Fuck it, let's do this"?
Absolutely, absolutely. I during the process of trying to learn how to walk again, I failed so many times that it did put me back in the hospital for a week because my muscles started releasing a chemical that was breaking them down. I forget the technical name for it, but I was in a lot of pain for a week, and it was like, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. It's worth it. You know, I don't care what I'm going to have to do. If I re-injure some body parts, that so be it. I was determined to be able to stand up and walk, so that way I could start living life again.
But you're also now you're probably carrying 100, 150 more pounds than you were carrying when you were in the military. So I'm sure that wasn't easy on your body either. And I'm sure you got winded really quick.
I was almost at an extra 200 pounds when I was about 230, 235 while I was in the Army. And I was at 415 at that point. So yeah, right at 200 pounds. Caused a lot of back pain because you got that big old belly in the front. Um, you know, and yeah, was winded because, you know, I'm not used to doing anything. You know, I've spent the last 5 years in a wheelchair and walking around with crutches. So I had support. You know, it wasn't an actual just me and my body moving around. So it took a little bit getting used to.
Now, because I just started working out again, I'm only working out with 15-pound dumbbells and, you know, doing kicks and punches and 3 5-minute rounds on the heavy bag. Uh, because I know, you know, I'm lapping everybody that's sitting on the couch. And it gets to a point where I remember I was working out with 120-pound dumbbells. And I had to get used to my new normal for a while until I want to get back to where I want to be. So, what was it like to get back into the gym and not do the kind of weights and do the kind of workouts that you used to do and having to start all over again?
I mean, it was a little frustrating. I mean, it was, but you know, it was already in my head that this is going to take time. You know, getting to the point where I was in the military, that took time and that took years, you know, within itself. You know, I wasn't a stranger to fitness. So it was just, you know, trying to keep it in my head to be patient. You know, you're not going to drop a lot of weight. Your body composition is not going to change overnight. To give it time, because that's where a lot of people, when it comes to fitness, especially New Year's resolutions, you know, they want to get back in the gym and they want to start working out. They want to see those changes quick, and when you don't, that's where a lot of people get frustrated and they go ahead and they quit. And it's like, well, I've been doing this for the last 2-3 weeks and I don't really see anything. And it's like, well, one, are you educated enough on what you should be eating, because your diet's the biggest part of it? You know, are you working out properly? You know, these things I already knew. So it was just, you know, it was, like I said, a little frustrating, but I knew it was going to take some time.
Okay, but all right, let's talk about. You know, I started my New Year's resolutions in November, so I'm still hitting my goals every day. I'm still on track.
There
But
you
like
go.
I said, if I work, I work out. Enough said. That's my mantra. But when we were in the military, we had money to play with. We had money to buy our supplements. We had money to buy extra food.
Mm-hmm.
We had enough. I remember I would go to the PX and I would spend, while everybody else was drinking, I'd spend like $500 on protein, creatine, pre-workouts, all this good shit. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're on a fixed income, and now it gets harder to buy supplements because you're on a fixed income. It gets harder to eat the right food because you are on a fixed income. What was that like? Because I know we've talked about this before.
Yeah. Well, it's a patient thing again. Even though you're on a budget, there's still ways to go to the grocery store and get, healthy food to eat. Now, that's not saying that, we're going to sit there and buy a lot of filet mignons and some T-bones and stuff like that. You get down to eating the ground turkey and the rice, and the ground beef and whatnot. You got to set that budget, and then you got then you got to make sure that you're not going over that budget. And the supplements, man. I mean, you have to get what you got to get. But over a period of time of working out and then competing and stuff like that, supplement companies started looking at me and stuff like that, and started getting sponsors and stuff. So that's started getting some help in that area. Just like right now, I'm a brand ambassador for 5% Nutrition. Actually been a brand ambassador for them for quite some time. As long as I'm helping promote them on social media, I get 5 free supplements every month, and they're the ones that I need. I don't need any less, and I don't need any more.
And I was friends with Rich Piana, and Rich, we think about you all the time, brother. But now, what was the moment where you're back in the gym? Because I remember when I decided to get in the octagon, there was a moment where I choked somebody out, and then I thought at that moment, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to go somewhere. So what was the moment? Was there a certain lift? Was there a certain exercise that you did and it clicked and you're like, this is what I need to do now?
Yeah, actually, it was my first competition. It was the National Veteran Wheelchair Games up in New York City in 21. It was completely, the whole thing was completely out of my comfort zone. I got into airport, I flew, I left home. I went to New York City, out of all places, right in the middle of Times Square, messing around in a hotel room, having to live outside my comfort zone. And I won silver and a bronze medal in shot put and in disc. So that was my moment of, this is it right here. I can do this. I've left home. I'm okay. I'm comfortable. I came and won 2 medals in something that I've never tried before a day in my life. So it's apparently I'm good at it. So that was my I'm ready to kick ass moment.
So what year was this?
August of 2021.
And you were training how long before you competed?
Not that long at all. I got back in the gym full time end of February 2021. So just a short few months. And that was just lifting weights. That wasn't throwing. Only threw twice before that. And it was at the VA for like maybe 5 minutes apiece. Just to sit in the chair, just to kind of get familiar with it before we went up there. There was not a lot of training at all.
Okay, but now you've won multi medals, and we'll talk about all that. But a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to be like Sam Smielek or whatever his name is. I'm going to go for workout one day, and now I'm going to be at the Olympia on stage. No, you don't look at all the hours, all the meals, all the meal prep. It's taken you now 5 years to be an overnight success.
It has.
And a lot of people don't want to put in the reps.
It is. And just like Sam Sulek said, winning his first competition, this this is the reward from all the workouts and all the meals and all the rest, all the work that we put in previously. This is the result. It's not going to happen overnight. And that's for everybody. You know, it takes time. It takes patience. It takes failures to learn to do things the right way, especially if it's something that you're doing that's brand new. So, you know, nothing's going to happen overnight. It's just time and patience, and you have to put the work in. You have to.
And you also need a good support system. Like I know, you know, Dr. Rob, Ginger, and David have been a big support system.
Absolutely.
You know, I always got your back. I always will have your back. But I think
Same
that
here, brother.
sometimes when we get to a certain point in our life where we're thinking we get a little bit of success, and then we start doubting ourselves. We start having that imposter syndrome, like James McNeil talks about all the time. So, you know, even though you're big country, I'm sure there's certain times where you're like, man, I don't belong where I'm at. So how does a person overcome imposter syndrome, especially when you're overcoming injuries?
Well, you know, you just hit it on the head. Is the support system. You know, like my amazing wife that you have seen walk behind me. You know, we met in the very beginning of 2022. She's been there by my side from day one. She pushes me. She supports me. She tells me how proud she is of me, my kids, and then, you know, of course, Rob, Ginger, and David, yourself, Jeff Johnson, Mike Renigan, you know, everybody that I have met over the last couple of years that has come together, and it's been a huge support system, you know, helping out with competition fees and helping out with, you know, a little bit of travel money and stuff like that. The people from Papa Top, you know, Feel Good Meals here in Belmont, you know, the support system is very, very important key to everything. You know, you can't do it all by yourself. You know, we have to have that support system and that love and that reassurance from our family and friends, because there are times that, you know, I have gotten down on myself. It's like, oh, I'm just tired. What am I doing? You know, this didn't go right today, or this week didn't go right today, or this month even didn't go right. You know, but it's people like y'all and my family and stuff who's always been there saying, you know what, it's okay, big country. It's just a bad day, man. Take it up, shake it off, get back to work the next day.
Yeah, because not every day are you going to have a PR. Not every day are you going to hit your goals. And some days where you just might not be able to get it off the rack, but at least you know, hey, I got in the gym. I can't hit my personal record today, but I'm going to rep out and I'm going to work to failure, like Mike Mentor talked about. So even if as long as I got there, I'm doing more than most people that are still laying in bed.
Absolutely, and that's the biggest. That's one of the biggest things right there, brother, is getting out the door and walking through the door. You know, you got to get there. Once you get there, it's all great.
All right, so now let's talk about March 15th, North Carolina. Me and my wife, we're going to come and have an amazing time hanging out with you and the family and our friends Jeff and Ranigan. And tell us what's actually going on March 15th.
So back in July of 2022, an amazing production team, producer by the name of Brandon Spearman, came down and shot a documentary on me. You know, a lot of people have started seeing the story and started hearing things and being on an amazing podcast like this, and had an amazing team come out and shoot a documentary on me. And, you know, things have finally come together. We're having a sneak peek premiere party at Tross Brewing Company, downtown Mount Holly, 4 p.m. on March the 15th. Got y'all coming, you, your wife, Mike, Jeff. There's a few athletes that I know. There's actually quite a few people from out of town that's flying in. You know, super excited about this. Everybody's going to get to see the documentary for the first time before it hits streaming services. We got some pretty cool door prizes. We got a year membership at Shooter Express. We got some signed Carolina Panther gear. Sean Cannon sent us some autograph stuff. We part of the proceeds is going to the Charlotte Rolling Hornets Youth Wheelchair Basketball League. So everybody in the youth league, we're going to be helping support them because they take all their stuff on donations and fundraisers and stuff like that, and want to be able to give back to the kids because they go out there and practice and they play hard, which is an amazing organization within itself. And sit around, eat some good food, and enjoy this very inspirational documentary. I hope it does inspire a lot of people when they do get to see it out on streaming services. Brandon and his team did an amazing job at this. Me and the wife already knew what we've seen it, and we already knew what was coming, but we still sit there and bawled our eyes out. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
And guys, if you are around Mount Holly, just make sure you get tickets. I think the price is like $35. Dinner's included with a non-alcoholic drink. So Make sure you get there. Me and my wife, we're flying in on a Thursday. We're gonna hang out, check out the Charlotte area, and then we're gonna fly back out. So guys, make sure that you're gonna be there. But we have a huge announcement that you told me about earlier, but we're not going to talk about it just yet. But there's a couple of people you mentioned, and I'm going to give you quick fire names, and I want you to give me your thoughts and your opinions on that person. First person, Jeff Johnson.
Oh man, very, very amazing guy, very smart businessman. Very supportive, very outgoing. Really excited about meeting him face to face. He's been a huge supporter of mine. He's a brother, family man. He's an outstanding guy and a very smart guy at that.
The next up, Michael Rannigan.
Doc. Man, he also just an amazing guy. Does a lot for the community. He's helped me with some competition fees and stuff like that last year and this year. Everything that Doc Roofing Company does for its community and helping out everybody else. His work is absolutely amazing. He does really beautiful work. Just another amazing guy that has a big heart, that loves helping people and understands the joy that you get by going into somebody's life and doing something that changes their life and helps that person be happy. He's another amazing veteran.
I love it. Ginger and David.
Family. They handle my merch company. Actually, they made this shirt as part of my merch line. Just huge family with hearts. Wants to make sure that whoever's getting merch through them has the best quality of merch, that it's seen by everybody. They help you out in times of need. Just an amazing group of people with just such a big heart. I wouldn't be where I'm at today, especially with my merch and stuff, if it wasn't for them.
I love it. And now, the man with the power, the man that's too sweet to be sour, Robert, the warrior strategist Garcia. Give me the DL on Robert.
He is the PR freaking mastermind. There is no other PR specialist out there that can lay a finger on him. What he's done for his clients, what he does to help people is just astronomical. Getting all of us on TV and in magazines and newspapers and on the news channels. He actually flew me out last October to the military gala out there that Brett Davis and them put on. I got the Resiliency Award. Just an amazing guy, man. Another vet with a big heart. And really, when it comes to PR and getting you the visibility and stuff that you need, really, there's nobody freaking better out there. And if you're not hiring, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, why haven't you hired him?
Yep, and he also has an amazing magazine, Shift Magazine. The winter issue just came out. Make sure you
Yes, sir.
make sure you guys pick that up. So, Big Country, you had a huge windfall, a huge announcement coming, only to be heard here for the first time. What is that huge announcement that you got in the last 24 hours?
Well, you know, me and my wife's been trying to use my VA loan here for quite some time now. And, you know, I don't understand why the government still puts so much red tape in front of it. And I've heard this from other veterans trying to use it too, that it's so hard to use your VA loan. You know, it was getting to the point where it started to be very worrisome. You know, we're on fixed income, and you know, they just jacked our rent up, you know, up to $2,000 a month to live in this little bitty house. We was really starting to put some stress on us. And I filled out an application for many of other companies. And because I wasn't injured, you know, downrange, never got any help. And I filled out an application about 3 months ago with a company called Tunnels to Towers. It's a foundation started off of the CEO's brother, who was a firefighter, who was injured in the trade towers. And they help out disabled veterans and first responders. We got a phone call yesterday and our application got approved. And that they're moving on to build us a smart home here in town. Something that I was at to the point that I didn't even think was going to be possible. I had reached out so many places to ask for help and try to find help and the best way to go about things. And don't have to worry about it no more. Yeah, I've seen their commercials all over TV with Mark Wahlberg and Dennis Quaid and some other actors on there, you know, talking about, and it's true, 95 cents of every dollar that's donated goes to the cause. They've helped out so many people. They're having a home built for us. It's going to be built to 88 specifications, so I can finally use my bathroom. Like, I can't even use the bathroom inside the bedroom here. I have to come all the way across the house to use the bathroom over here, and I'm not gonna have to worry about it no more. You know, my family's finally gonna have a home of its own, and we're gonna move my mother-in-law in, so that way she doesn't have to worry about, you know, staying in her apartment. My mother-in-law moved up from Florida not too long ago, and we're so happy to have her home with us right here by us, so she can be around her grandkids and stuff. Man, it's a blessing, man. I put a post up on Facebook the other day and said, you know, there is good karma, and it is. There's good karma, just like bad karma. You know, if you're out here trying to do good things and you mean it, and you're doing it from your heart and your soul and not expecting anything at all, there's good karma that comes back around. And you know, I cried for 2 hours straight yesterday after I got that phone call, and I text my wife. I didn't tell her there was good news. I text my wife and said, "You need to call me now." And you know, just to hear her express it and my mother-in-law's expressing it in the kids' voices, it's a blessing, man. I'm very, very blessed to have this foundation help me out.
Is there anybody from this foundation that you'd like to shout out live?
Miss Elaine, my case manager. Thank you for all your help. You know, she got the paperwork she needed. She made sure it was the right paperwork, and she's been very, very helpful through the process so far. You know, she was like, you know, this is the best part of my job, is being able to give the good news. And thank you to the whole foundation. Thank you for everything that y'all do, for what you stand for, how you change people's lives, because it does. You're changing people's lives in more ways than you can possibly imagine.
Are there any sponsors you'd like to give a big shout out to? Because I'm always about collaborating, and so if there's any sponsors you want to give shout outs to, let's give out some shout outs.
Rob Garcia, Shift Magazine, Doc's Roofing Company, Jeff Johnson, Ginger and David Really Designs, 5% Nutrition, Papa Top. You guys, oh man, I hope I don't miss anybody. Brandon Spearman for getting this documentary up. Just everybody that's been helpful, man. That's been there, that's helped. Thank you for everything that y'all have done. Thank you for your support, your love, being there on the bad days, just like being there on the good days. And that's right there. That means a lot, that people are there during the bad moments, just like they're there for the good moments. That's really how you're able to tell sometimes who's truly in your corner. Because sometimes you have people that's there for the good moments, and when those bad moments come, they kind of disappear. But everybody's been right there beside me, man, right there behind me, and thank you to everybody for everything. It's been a blessing.
Brian, I love you and I love your family. I can't wait to hang out on March 15th. So, guys, remember, if you're around Mount Holly, North Carolina, on March 15th, make sure you come by, hang out, get some good grub, get some good food, and maybe get some hot sauce by Mr. Sean Kanan, his brand new hot sauce. I ordered mine. It should be here probably in the next day or two. And so, thank you, Sean Kanan.
I got some from him, and he's another one too. He's been a big supporter. He's helped me out with a few things. That hot sauce is actually pretty freaking amazing. He hit spot on with that. And one little sneak peek for everybody. I've made a few posts about this. It's called Veteran Battlegrounds. If you're a disabled vet, we are currently in the process of building a huge adaptive sports competition that's going to be taking place right here in Charlotte, June 15th through the 30th of 2027. We have some amazing people that has come together to help start building this. You have some amazing people that's got your back. We was recently told there was a competition that we were no longer eligible to compete in. So a bunch of veterans and some amazing civilians has come together to start building this organization, and some more great things to come for that. And if you'd like to compete, you better be training now, because when 2027 gets here, it's on, baby, right here at UNCC Charlotte.
I love it. And I would like to actually help sponsor some people and also come down and do some live interviews. So I'm in.
Absolutely.
I'll help out however I can, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I love you, brother. And guys, as you know, I always end with this. Every morning we wake up, we have a choice. We can be a victim of our past, or we can be a victor of our present and our future. And if you guys listen to this show, you're no longer victims, you're victors. So thank you guys for always showing up. And guys, remember, vertical momentum, the only way to go is up. Brian, my brother, I can't wait to hang out on March 15th and have a soft drink together.
Absolutely, man. Can't wait to see you and the wife, man. It's going to be an amazing day, brother, to hang out with a bunch of family and friends for sure. Can't wait to see you.
All right, brother. Have a great weekend. We will talk soon.
You too, brother.